Alright, so good evening. We're back for part two, and we're going to jelly plate. And I have my 8x10 jelly plate out. And I'm going to jelly plate some papers for a project that I'm going to do, a row of Victorian craft bungalow style houses. This is a live stream, so if you're watching on YouTube and you get bored with our little chat and you think we should hurry along, just move it forward. Alright, so I take that back. I'm indecisive. I am going to go with the burgundy. And see if I do the... And I'm going to throw a little berry dazzling metallics. And these are all DecoArts paints that we're using tonight. Thanks to the DecoArts Helping Artists program. Ooh, that's a pretty color now. Kind of a cranberry color. Let's try the Baroque pattern. Even though it's a big stencil, it's going to fit right there in the middle. If we remove that, and get that first layer of paint off, we'll do Paula's crusty bit technique. Okay. I'm just using some of the edges. Okay, so that's a pretty layer for the first layer. We'll work two papers. Okay. Not sure we want that much burgundy. So I think what I'm going to do is take this floral jacquard and just see if, let's try this. No, I don't want to do that. I take that back. Let's go just add some more burgundy to this. I want to take some off in the corners if possible, but it may be too dry. It dries really fast at our house. I got a little bit more. I just don't like that too heavy of the burgundy. In the corner. So that gets more white space in some of those areas. Alright, and we'll let that dry. Yeah, like I don't get what's up with Ustream gel and why it's behaving so bad lately. The chat. Like I wish they'd just quit messing with it. Let's try the pink Cadillac. It's really soft. Pale, pale pink. That's already dry. This is the satin. I'll probably just do a cleanup print with it. Something bit me on the ankle. It's driving me nuts. Okay. And I'm just using regular copy paper tonight because I'm going to collage with it. So I like the lighter weight. Papers. And I'm doing colors that are a little different than what I normally do, because those houses are like pastel yellow, pastel blue. Some of them are traditional colors but have a really bright porch or door. Okay. It tore the paper. It's sticking right here. The paper tore. Sticking to the plate. See it? The print's pretty. So that will be pretty cut up as part of the body of a house. Or it could be put up on a rabbit. Let's add some more to this. Let's get that pink paper off. It might have been where that old paint was. Okay, so let's try. Maybe we want to try something different with the burgundy. This is a soft blue-gray. Yeah, mine keeps freezing up, May. It's like it goes to sleep because I'm inactive on the chat. Because I've noticed, like, if I'm excuse me, if I'm at somebody else's stream and I don't talk, that's when my chat sometimes like quits working and disconnects, and I have to go out and back in to get a new connection. So maybe what I need to keep doing is every once in a while put something in the chat. I mean, I don't lose the broadcast. I just lose the chat, which is really irritating. Okay, we need... This is probably going to get covered up, mostly. I think I'll do... Maybe I'll do Jean's roadmap. Yeah, this really looks gray. It's a kind of a blue gray. I changed my mind. I'm all over the place tonight. I want an open stencil because I am going to use the roadmap, but I want something open for the first part of Crusty Bits. And I'm going to use this. We'll add that to there. And then we'll use the roadmap as our second stencil. Because if you're going to do Paula's technique, I find it works better if you use, the first stencil has a lot of open spaces, and the second stencil is a smaller scale. I need to print, like cut more stencils. Okay, so far that's kind of ugly, but if you just, like we're looking at it as a building, it could be interesting. Okay, let's let that dry. Don't you hate that, Dot? People are... Okay, so this is a gray. I think I want to do a turquoise. It's a blue gray. I think I want to do a turquoise on it. So this is deep turquoise. Either that or a green. Could go with this Irish moss. That's more of a contrast. Let's try that. I have a bad habit of falling into the same colors. I'm also gonna put a little green, that's metallic festive green in there. You know, I like that green with the gray. Okay, let's put Jean's stencil on there. Let's take a piece of paper. Actually, I'm going to get a piece of dictionary paper. And use a couple pieces of dictionary paper. Because I think that green will be pretty. Turn it sideways. I think the green will be pretty with the text showing through. This does have very like small openings. So I'm just going to push in to make sure I get most of those openings clear. Deli paper or a napkin would work really good. We'll leave that. We'll add something to that. Let's pull that off. Let's stick this paper on that and kind of get some of that paint off that stencil. mostly dry. Alright, that's... Okay, so it's got the blue, gray, the green. What do we want to pick it up with? I say lavender or purple. Violet, actually, light violet or lavender. I think lavender is going to be too light. Let's try this. Hi, Jean. This will just be the cleanup layer, so we're not adding a stencil to this layer. I'm just going to use the same paper. Oh, I put that on crooked. That's not going to matter because this, like, all going to get cut up. Okay, it's not going to show on camera very well, probably, but I like it. It's got the pink, the green, and the blue. It will make good rabbit parts or a good house. We still need to add something to this. What's that? Turquoise. Little turquoise makes everything better. This is deep turquoise. Okay, this paint has a different smell than the other craft paints. Maybe because it's a satin. Let's do that. Add that. What'd you do tonight, Dot, on Barb's VIP stream? Okay, it's real subtle. It's just adding some pattern, kind of tone on tone. Let's take that off and let that dry, and we're going to use the brown and the sand to pick it up. Somewhere I had a desert sand. Maybe I put it away. All of these have plastic wrappers I have to take off. Oh, cool. Okay, this one came out like it's old. Came out much thicker than the turquoise did, of the same brand. that up. What did you get this morning, Jean? Ah, this paper's crooked again. Okay, that one is really pretty. It's pretty subtle, but it'll make a good brick building. Or it looks like patinaed copper with the browns and the little bit of the turquoise. Let's throw in a little artist loft. This is a metallic turquoise. And I'm going to take that deep turquoise again and add it in there. An Amazon gift card. Wow, 10 grams. Cool, cool. Okay, so this is much darker. I'm still not wild about this print. So I want to find something with big openings. I have a circle one, perhaps. It's not there. Let me look in the other container. Well, they knew. It's warped circles. So that's going to cover up a whole lot of that paper, which is good because I don't like it. And it will leave a big opening that we can do a crusty bits in. Let's see. Okay, now I don't mind it as much. It's kind of 50s. I don't feel like all that is pulled up though. So let's put the dictionary print and see if we can't get some more of that off. Another reboot dot. I guess how to roll that out. I kind of like that. You know what I think I'll do to this is we'll spray some magicals on it in a little bit. We're going to set it aside to dry, because then we'll still see the green and we'll see the turquoise. I'm just making sure that alright, so we'll let that dry. thinking I might put this in there, but no. I'll do letters. Maybe some stripes. Oh, I forgot I had this. I had this new stencil I hadn't used. We can try. But actually, I think what I'm going to end up using is the tree stencil. And we'll use I'm leaning towards a super pale blue or a green. Thinking this cactus. Yeah, to me it looks like bugs. This warped circle, it looks like bugs to me, like a beetle or a ladybug. Good deal, Picola. So we'll put that on there. And then we'll put the tree stencil down. Okay, and I'm starting to get a brayer paper that I like. So that's good. It's going to be about time to switch papers on that. Alright, so we'll put the tree stencil down. I'm not worried about making it look like trees. Let's get a clean piece of paper. Yeah, all I see is like bug bodies. Or like kind of weird skeleton faces. I can see that too. Okay. So that took off some of... Okay, we're going to leave that just like it is, because we're going to hit that with magicals later. We'll get another piece of paper. I don't think this is going to jelly print very good, is what I'm afraid. No, it's not too bad. I'm pushing really hard. There's a little bit of green and turquoise on that. Start on the copper, that looks good. Okay, we need to let that dry. Let's see if any of this paint comes off on the other side of this stencil. A little bit. One of my favorite stencils, and I don't use it, is trees. Wish I had it as a stencil though, not a mask. Alright, this needs to dry. It's turquoise and green. And I'm thinking copper, red. It's dark scarlet. Or red barn. I think dark scarlet. I'll throw a little copper in. I hate these little layers, these little rings of plastic. They're so hard to get off. Okay. It's still a little wet in the middle. Take that back. I think I'm going to use the copper with this brown. Combination. It's cocoa bean and coffee bean. And then I'm going to add worn penny, or actually I'm going to add the ruby red again. And this will be the cleanup layer. Alright, and this sprayer paper I'm going to leave just like that to use for something. Let's put paper on this. See what we get off of that. No, I'm not dead on or straight. Okay. Another one that's real distressed. Funky. The green and the turquoise with the copper. See if we can pull up any more paint off that plate real quick. A little bit here and there. Alright, so there's still some turquoise there. Let's go back to the pinks. I don't feel like I have a good pink house. This is, we'll use flamingo. Okay, you shake these and they've been coming out in the lid when I open them up. That's the second one that's done that to me. And I'm going to add, see, this one did it too. That's more of a coral color. So, let's see. Before we roll that out, what are we going to do for, I think I'm going to do a combination. That. I've got a couple different things I could do a combination of stencils. I will say it's kind of a thin paint. These are the satin multi-surface. See how you can see through when I brayer, how it's not opaque? I do like it like that. Not sure jelly printing with it or using it to do a pour will be very good or very effective. I should have got dictionary paper. Hi, Mindy. No, we don't get affected by the storms, Dot. I'm like 9 hours from the coast, driving time. I'm a long ways. We might get rain if it comes up, but the way it's going towards New Orleans, we won't even get rain. CB would be more likely to be affected before I would be able to be affected. I know San Antonio sometimes gets flooding if it goes up the right way, and they have issues with flooding, but we'll get nothing but rain that we need already. Okay, so that's pretty. Let's put it in the magicals pile. Need this to dry, and then I'm going to take the super pale pink. There may not be enough contrast though. Maybe I'll try this lavender field. It's got to be pink to get a pink house. Sorry, Jean and Eileen. I'm kind of with you. I'm jelly printing out of my comfort zone. I will say I like this a lot. That you can still see the map, but it's just stained. In fact, maybe I'll try to make this one all stained and not thick paints. We'll see how this works. It's a little more opaque than that pink. And let's put a piece of paper, and we're just going to do a cleanup. Hoping that I can just get kind of a lavender color with a pink pattern. I wonder though if tornado season is going to be bad here since the hurricane season has been so bad. If Oklahoma and oh, can't see much print. There's a little bit of turquoise. Excuse me. Too much on the layer to pickup layer. The last layer, too much paint. I'm just adding a little bit of that to this. And just add some lighter areas. Okay. So we can add something on top of this. Maybe we should just add a straight up purple. Let me get my dioxazine purple. Actually, let's try this, black plum. Yeah, I just know that every time Corpus got a hurricane warning, people would evacuate and leave and go to San Antonio and get stuck on the loop somewhere and couldn't get back because of rain and flooding when the hurricane didn't hit Corpus. My parents got stuck in San Antonio many a time. All right, let's find a stencil. Well, actually, I think I'll use the same set of stencils that I had. This is black plum, so we'll see how that looks on top of there. Okay, let's put... I wish I'd bought 2 of these stencils. When I was in Tuesday morning. I'm going to brayer this. Okay, that'll be pretty. I mean, for a pinky purple house. Not because that's what I would pick. Let's see if we get any more off. Okay, a little bit on that. Probably should have left it alone. Okay, let's let that dry. And let's just do a tighten buff cleanup and see if we can't clean the plate up. It's another one that's kind of got a stringy, goopy mess. We'll see. Maybe we'll get something that will kind of coordinate with that other one. Can be used for a porch. Okay, yeah. It can be used with something else, or it's a pastel. In fact, it's probably closer to what I wanted originally than maybe even this. Said I'm just trying to get some light colored. Let's try the leaf stencil. Gonna get rid of the packaging altogether. I don't put them back in their original packages. And let's see if we can add some of that on top of this and get a piece that we like that can be used just as it's on its own. And I'm going to use pine green. Look down here. I may use a little of this metallic green in there. Not much. And I'm going to use this. Okay, I'm already going to tell you right now, I want to cannibalize the stencil. And use a piece of paper. It's not what I want to do. It's the right color paint, maybe. Just ruin that rare paper. I'm just going to get let's try. Actually, let's do this. Let's put that stencil on there. I mean the coaster. And get all green. And we may get a pattern. We'll get a green layer of paint going on that stencil. Coaster. Keep saying stencil. Brain's not working. I'm just trying to get the extra green paint off around the edges and not waste it. So that'll be a good solid layer. And then let's see about the brayer paper. I should have just put the stencil on and done it with a sponge. If we don't like it, that's what we'll do. Hey, Orla. I actually kind of like that. The only thing I did get some green paint up here that I don't want. And I'm going to just blend out. And I got some green paint over here that I don't want that I'm going to blend out with a baby wipe. I think that's kind of pretty. It's real subtle, but it might look really pretty in a matte. I don't want to touch it too much, but just sort of to give you an idea. It might be pretty. Might stencil some more leaves on it in a minute. Take that off. Get rid of the cut stencil. I don't think these are ones I'll use on my jelly plate. I think I'll stencil through them is what I'll end up doing. Okay, let's just get that off the brayer plate right here. Maybe some copper leaves on some of the green parts. That'd be pretty cut and used in a collage. So I will probably pull this brayer paper off to use kind of like that. This could be a door. Let's try the sapphire blue. And we'll try that with some Prussian blue, which I put away. It's kind of a combination of paper, stencils. Speaking of long time no see, it was good to see Carrie tweet. Let's save that one. Well, I'm about ready to switch to the magicals. Alright. I'm not going to use the Prussian blue. I was going to use the Prussian blue, but I don't think it'll have enough contrast. I'm going to use the Naples yellow. And then I think I'm going to call it done for the jelly plating. I'm not even going to do any cards tonight. Just a mishmash. Okay. So that's negatory. Too much paint on the, let's put this on here and see if we can pull off. And we'll stencil something on top of that. So that's not a bad start to that. Some good right in here is good with the green and the blue. And I like the green over the map that you can see. Let's try going with the, let's try with the dark green, and we'll put it back over this yellow. Let me find a stencil. Can use the alphabet one. Actually, I'm going to use that one. And this one. I'm thinking buildings still. So I'm thinking about how it's going to cut up. And let's throw a little of this blue-green light in there. Just and I'm not going to do a big mix. I'm just going to let it be a little different. I do like the greens I got a lot. Let's see. Let's try this one on like 2/3, and this one, move that up just a little bit. Okay, we'll put that on there. Okay, that should be right up like Jean and Eileen's alley. Let's put some more of that green on parts of here. Let's see it, because there's more green I can get out. And that way we'll get some print in some other places. Okay, pull that off. I want to put, this stencil looks pretty wet right there. Let's see if I can get a little stencil print on there. Got a little bit. And then let's pull this one off and put it on here. See if we get any print. Okay. So I'm going to call that brayer paper done. Like this would make good leaves because you got that yellow and the green. You can still see the map. You got light colored map and some green. My brayer papers come out better tonight. All right, and then what do we want? Let's use a real light cactus to pick this up. We'll have a green on green. Still a little wet in the middle. And I think I'll throw a little of the moss in there that we used earlier. Not much. Just a little. Just a little to add a little sparkle. Right, and I don't want too much paint, so this is, I'm going to roll some back off. And I like seeing the stencil pattern. If you can see the stencil pattern, it helps you know that you got enough off. Okay, while that is drying, let's try a sponge and some of that same green. and maybe a little Titan buff or some copper. I'm gonna get a sponge and let's just stencil on that coaster some overlapping greenery. Let's try the fern. And then let's try a little Titan buff. Let's try a little red. Well, one we have already opened. With a little copper color added to it. Actually, I'm going to go back over the Titan buff too. Alright, it was pretty till it messed up right there. So let's take a wet baby wipe and see if we can pull that back off real quick. Right, I'm gonna hit the side where it bled. It was my fault. The paints were thinner. Okay. I'll line that back up. Just a little bit of a drier touch to it. That's better. I think I'll throw it a little over here. Maybe on two. Sponge too wet. And I think I'm going to throw a couple light colored leaves over here. I don't know. Not too bad. Just playing. While we have this out, let's there is a green leaf on here. No. Wrong paper. There's a green leaf on here. Let's add a copper one, or a light colored one, on top of it. It's the green. And you can't probably tell, but there's shimmer in there. Let's do the same thing right in here. I picked up a little of the copper and the red with the green. Then I'm going to take and add a little of that dark green back to my craft mat. And it's going to mix with some of that cactus green. Probably too close in color. But I'm just playing with this stencil, and this will probably get cut up. Not enough contrast, but like I said, it'll make interesting. I'm just using up the paint. It'll make interesting to cut it up, building. I'll just put it in my stash of greens to cut up. Let's pull this off and see what we got here. Definitely clean up. This one turned out really pretty. And it'll be good for a green on green type house. This is a Jean and Eileen. That'll make a good house. And I'll probably use this one for a house. Too muddy. Too pink. I have to work on the pinks. You know what I think I might use for the pink house? One we already did. This one would make a pretty pink house. So, like I said, I think I'll put the jelly plate up. Not sure I like stenciling on the, I don't know what I want to do with the coasters. I'm going to add some magicals to the jelly prints that I set to the side. And now to go back in the clamshell is the biggest pain. Bye, May. Yeah, it'll work for greenery or trees, bush. I mean, I'll use it. I do kind of like that one. That stencil. Might just put like a little quote from here and call that one done. Let's put the, I'm just trying to clean up before I move on to the next thing. So I have room on the table. Put the extra brayer papers, the stencil, the brayer. Let's get rid of the extra paints. So I have room. Take me just a minute. Like I said, to move all of this. To the other table so we have room for the magicals. Let's see. I'm thinking the black. A falling leaf is autumn splendor. That's what I want to put on there. I'm going to cut it. And then I'll just give it a little coat sure that it's painted on the edges, probably with black or inked. Probably could even just ink it on the edges with the black ink pad. I think that's good. That finishes all the sides in black. And then, like I said, the back could be painted. I can sign it over here. And then what I think I'll do is, later on, I'll do 2 more that are like it. We'll put 2 more, I can do 2 more that are like it, and then you'd have 3. Like a set of 3 that could be matted and framed in a long skinny frame. What do we think of that idea? I may try finishing that in just a minute. We'll actually have something done. Alright, Magicals. Oh my gosh. Look what was open in the box. And no spillage. But the lid wasn't all the way back on. But there's a little bit of color. Okay. That green works on this color. Okay, so we'll use some of that green. And I'm going to use Bachelor Button Blue or Hydrangea. Actually, I'll use Silver Nights. I'm afraid if I use the blue, it'll be too blue. And I'm leaning towards maybe a little Ramblin' Rose pink. Yeah, that would have been a mess. And that has been my fear. Okay, this is the silver. The Silver Night from the Christmas set. This is the one that was open, the Ponderosa Olive, which is kind of an olive green with some gold tones. And then let's do some Ramblin' Rose pink. it all wet. And let's see what we get. Okay, that'll dry pretty. Let's squirt a little blue teal in some places that I have mixed up in a spray. And I'm going to lay another one on top just to soak up some of that extra color. Make a sandwich. Okay, so I'm going to let that one dry. And this one's kind of got similar colors. But let's go with something with the yellow. Texas Rose yellow and orange. Let's put some yellow and some bright orange. Hogwarts orange. Okay, there's the yellow. The yellow rose of Texas. And let's go with the Hogwarts orange. Let's get those wet. Okay. Flip it a couple times before I turn it over. Okay, this one's going to be pretty, I think. This is a real good way to get a high contrast without mud. Let's, I'm just going to add this to the pink. It'll be more tone on tone. Just use up that. I'm just trying to mop up the extra color. Okay, let's dry these a few minutes. Alright, let's dry this real quick. One of these powders had white in it. We'll add some more to this. We'll set that to the side, and let's get that first one and dry it a little. This is super thin paper, so it just soaks up the water. I think it's one of my new favorite ways is to jelly print and then use the magicals in the white space because it's got shimmer on it. You can't jelly print and get that contrast. Now this is more soft and subtle, which I like this soft. I'm not good at soft. This one will be cool cut up and it's shimmery too. But this one, love, love, love. Like, it would be just a pretty background. Like a sky background. Okay, let's set those to the side. What do we want to add to this? Whatever, I want to add something more contrasting. Whatever we add, we'll add to this too. I'm thinking like blue, green. Or maybe we just go with the sweet violet teal and the Tahitian poppy and the silver again, maybe. Yeah, I really like the resist that you get from the paint and the way that you can get okay, this is the sweet violet purple teal, which looks purple one way and teal another. This is Tahitian poppy. And we'll add some silver back in there. Okay. Okay, let me set that one aside. And I'm going to wipe off. Actually, I'm going to sandwich again. And blot. And there's so much here. I'm going to put it on just matte paper. Okay. Can you see how it's purple, but then you hold it and it's turquoise? That's that sweet violet. That's going to be pretty because there's vibrant purple and turquoise in a few places. This right here is yum. This needs more of something, but not the purple. I'm thinking just the lime green kind of color on these. How about the Bells of Ireland? Maybe the golden sleigh bells? And maybe the peony pink. Let's let this one dry. I dropped my brush. There it is. Okay, I'm going to do the golden sleigh bells, which is a gold, a traditional gold. I'm going to do the pink. I think I may want more of that gold. Okay. Not for the lime. Like I said, I think I want more gold. I am getting a little bit of mud on this one. This one got more of the green. Should have just stuck with the gold and the green. Okay. It's more subtle. But it'll be pretty collage paper. No, I don't do anything with fabric. No sewing machine anymore. Let's try these real quick. This one turned out really vibrant. Got the bright orange, the turquoise, the coral color, the bright pink. I would think it would work. You get some pretty backgrounds and then maybe stencil fabric paint on top of them, possibly. Or once you got you could jelly print the fabric and then do what I'm doing. That one's pretty. You can still see the writing. It's soft pinks and soft greens with the turquoise. It'll get used. So I think that's it for the jelly printing and the magicals. That one's pretty. I still have to say that this one is my favorite. This one's real soft, but they are real shimmery. If you want to stick around, I think I'll work on finishing the two of these and then call it a night. Put those magicals up. The green paint, the sage paint, the Titan buff, the copper. Okay, and the stencil. So we started with the green paint. I mean, they were on the jelly plate, but it was just this green paint, basically. Okay, dries real fast. I have to say that. Got good coverage. Let's take the cactus. And some of that. I think I'm going to take, instead of the Titan Buff, I'm going to take the buttermilk. It's a little thicker. And then I used Warren Penny. Okay. Use the green first, the light green. I think I'll come in on this side. Maybe I'll even come down. Added a little buttermilk to that one. Y'all need a can? She's either carried laundry somewhere or needs a can. Okay, now I'm gonna use the copper. And I'm gonna add a little of a red to that. So they pop a little bit more. I'm going to turn that. Hit it going the other way too. Okay, I like that one. I want to do the same thing with this one, I think. sure there's none on the back. Hit it with the cream again first. Hit it with some red. Some copper. A little brighter. Okay, let's get rid of that. Got extra paint there. Way more paint than I needed. Okay. Let's just grab a piece of this and a stencil. And I'm going to stencil the copper and the cream on top of this. Just not to waste that paint. And this is a brayer paper. Just finishing up that paint. So that's pretty. I just took a brayer paper. Night, CB. Alright, so all we need to do to these is give them a black edge. Make sure I don't touch inky parts to the middle part. Just trying to make sure there's no cardboard showing. Okay, I'm done. And my idea is that it would get framed like this, in a long, skinny frame. If that makes sense. That you could just get a long, skinny frame at the store that they already have with the glass, and put a cream colored mat in the backing, and then just secure these. And I think something like that would be pretty. When I go to get the canvases that I want, I'll see if I can find the kind of frame that I'm thinking about. Those ones that were the old panoramic photo frames. So that's kind of what I was thinking about doing. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.